The aliens that have invaded the Fortnite Island have finally revealed their true mission, and that's to exterminate every living thing for control of the Zero Point. It seems the bridge is still intact at the Imagined Order's headquarters, and according to leak quests, Dr. Sloan only has one card left up her sleeve: detonating a bomb in the Mothership. The battle over the island rages on, and with only a few weeks left of this season, we found secret details that reveals who will win this war and what chaos will break out in Season 8, and let me tell you, it's about to get ugly. But it seems like this war might have been over before it even started, because all of this led to a boiling point at the end of last season. After the events of Season 6, the Spire attracted some unwanted attention from alien visitors, and at the end of last season, UFOs began to abduct people gathering some intel. The Imagined Order got word of this pretty quickly due to conspiracy theories circulating around the island, and led by Dr. Sloan, they took action quick, setting up bases, satellite dishes, and bringing in the smartest and strongest minds in the universe to help. And so it was at this point everything changed. The aliens' huge mothership made its way to the Fortnite Island and went straight for the Spire. It completely blew up the tower and stole the Zero Point from the IO's grasp. And since then, the island has been at war with the aliens, and it's been an interesting one at that. So after the Mothership invaded, some of the island's inhabitants decided to embrace them and turn Sweaty Sands into Believer's Beach, a place where the alien fans were gonna party. But as this was happening, we were taking orders from Dr. Sloan, who's worried that a mole is inside of the Imagined Order and feeding information to the aliens. She sends us on a wild goose chase around the map, trying to help her gather information on the UFOs, and that's when the aliens kick it up a notch. They completely take over Holly Hatchery and fill it with an alien low-gravity zone, and Sloan sees this and says the DNA of the island is being corrupted. They're preparing to terraform everything. Now, a lot of people wonder why the aliens stuck around after stealing the Zero Point. I mean, surely they got what they wanted. Why don't they just leave while they can? Well, it looks like their plan is to study the island and the Zero Point, kill everyone here, and then terraform it into a place where they can live with their ideal conditions as an alien. And that is exactly why they're placing all of these low-gravity zones around the map. And so at this point, after the aliens abduct Slurpy Swamp's factory, Sloan is ready to start fighting back. She tells everyone to prepare for a countermeasures plan that is going to take down the Mothership for good. And while Fortnite hasn't revealed this plan just yet, we already know what it is. We'll get to it in a second, but it looks like Sloan is really preparing for her attack to get, well, messy.
Unfortunately, the area where it's coming down isn't as unpopulated as I'd like. I need you to warn the people there ahead of time and get them to leave. Can't risk any of them doing something to interfere with the plan.
While all of this is happening, the aliens have their plans of their own. Throughout the entire season, we've been abducted by UFOs and sent to the Mothership. We are put in these prison cells before having to fight to get released. It's almost like they're experimenting on us and analyzing the way we fight each other before getting dropped back onto the island like nothing happened. But it turns out we're not the only thing that aliens have been after. Recently, they took Slurpy Swamp, and now they're in the process of completely abducting Coral Castle. This is all a part of their plan to eventually terraform the entire island into a place for them to live. So in order to speed up the process of gathering as much information as they can, they decided to lure every single person on the island in with a concert. We all went to this UFO and hopped into the rift, and then the aliens actually used this opportunity to scan everyone's brain, and of course they found the memories of all previous live events, including Kevin the Cube, the Invaulting, and literally everything else. Now they know everything there is to know about the loop and the island, and once their terraforming is complete, it seems like the aliens are going to wipe us all out and live on the island instead. Now, of course, the Imagined Order is absolutely determined to stop that from happening. We are just a few weeks away from Season 8 and the climax of the entire invasion. We are also on the brink of a season finale live event, and leaks reveal a dark future. With a ton of secret information, it's time we explore some incredible theories on what exactly will happen with the future of the Fortnite Island. So unlike past seasons, we actually have a really clear idea of what's going to happen in the next few weeks. And no, not in terms of event spoilers, don't worry about that. Instead, we piece together what will probably happen when the Imagined Order and aliens finally collide. Our first theory is that as the aliens continue to terraform the island, they are going to eventually head over to Corny Complex. Now this is confirmed by leakers as the third and final POI they'll be abducted. But there's something extremely significant about Corny Complex. Not only is this the current base of operations for the Imagined Order, but Dr. Sloan has left a little present inside of it. The IO are not only expecting the aliens to abduct Corny, but they actually want them to. You see, earlier in Season 7, we saw mysterious screens on the wall that looked like some kind of plan for a bomb, and we touched upon this in our last storyline video. But since then, a large cylinder has appeared in the middle of Corny, and in the files, this is literally labeled as a part of a bomb. Let me tell you, this goes way deeper. In next week's legendary quest, Sloan is actually going to ask us to collect 3 alien devices and then activate the countermeasures device underneath Corny Complex. And once you do this quest, the bomb will be visible inside the POI. This is what it looks like. Taking a wild swing, it is probably powerful enough to damage the Mothership. So So of course, the plan now is that the aliens will abduct Corny Complex, including the bomb, and they will detonate it once it's inside the mothership. It's a pretty solid idea. All it takes is a powerful enough explosion and they can take the mothership down in one clean shot. But as Sloan said earlier, it's what happens after which really matters. I mean, sure, blowing up a mothership 3 times the size of the island is gonna be cool to watch, but it's also gonna cause a lot of damage. There are 2 things that could happen when the mothership explodes, and this will change the future of Chapter 2 forever. The first theory is that the mothership completely explodes from within and splits into multiple pieces, spreading all over the ocean and some of them hitting the island. Now this would be cool and will give us some fresh POIs with Season 8. But I mean, come on, knowing Fortnite, it is very possible that it'll be a lot more dramatic than that. Instead of it simply being blown up into pieces, another theory is of course that the bomb is just powerful enough to send the mothership crashing down onto the island. This would definitely be the most explosive of the 2, but it could also be what brings us straight into Season 8. Let me explain here. If a part of the mothership crashes onto the island, it's going to be devastating for a few reasons. Yes, it will literally destroy entire POIs, but there's a side effect that not even the Imagined Order have thought about. If you've been abducted by the mothership before, you'll probably know that we're held in prison cells just before we start fighting each other. Now at first, these were just a cool way to gather players, but there's much more to it than we first thought. Because the mothership has a ton of prison cells on it, and the aliens have clearly been to a lot of different universes, there could be all kinds of monsters and creatures and species in these cells spread all over the mothership. Think about it. This thing is literally 3 times the size of the Fortnite map, and we've only seen, what, like 3 rooms? It's really up to our imagination just what kind of things are on this ship. And the reason we're talking about this is because if the mothership crashes down onto the island, all of these locked up specimens, monsters, and a lot more are gonna escape and leak out onto the map. And this isn't just speculation either. Recently, an anonymous Epic employee on Reddit posted a ridiculous amount of leaks, most of which have already come true. These included the Ariana Grande concert and DC skins like Wonder Woman and Bloodsport. So far, they have been absolutely right. They also leaked Season 6 before it even happened, mentioning the Foundation being the Rock and the Spire being a main POI. So we can probably trust this leaker more than anyone right now, and that's where Season 8 comes in. This leaker claims that next season we are going to have a new feature on the island known as the Sideways. Apparently, it's going to be very similar to the Upside Down from Stranger Things, and monsters and creatures will be coming from this dimension. Oh, and apparently they're going to be rideable, so if our theory is to be believed, it's very possible that the mothership crashing down will be the cause of all of this. One thing that's really been driving me crazy is another leak from the Redditor. They claim that at the end of Season 7, Kevin the Cube is going to return, and he's going to be controlled by a character only known as the Queen. And yeah, the recent Imposters Mo brought us a miniature Kevin Easter egg, but this is definitely not what the leaker's talking about. Maybe this quote-unquote Queen has a lot more power over the storyline than we think. Maybe controlling Kevin is just the start of her plans. According to this leaker, the Queen will play a huge role in Chapter 3, so that is so exciting. Who knows? I mean, maybe she's a prisoner on the mothership, or maybe she's actually on the alien side and appears at the last second during the event with Kevin to try and stop the IO from destroying the aliens for good. I could go on, guys, but with all that out of the way, it naturally sets us up to talk not just about Season 8, but even further than that. Of course, I'm talking about the end of Chapter 2. So we know pretty much everything about Season 7 and the battle between the Imagined Order and the Chimera, that's a given. But when it comes to Season 8 and even beyond, that's where the real questions about the storyline come in. And we have a ton of questions that have yet to be answered, and with the last few seasons giving us more and more characters, it's getting harder to follow all their stories by the day. For starters, we have the Foundation in the 7, and in Season 7's opening, the Foundation was thrown from the 0 point and straight into the ocean. Now, some people believe that the Foundation was actually abducted by the mothership and thrown back out into the ocean once they scanned all of his memories. But it doesn't make that much sense because surely they would hold such a powerful man prisoner. I mean, we've seen what kind of powers he has. So for now, it's safe to assume the Foundation has been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for an entire season, ready to make a return at any moment. He's probably in a deep sleep from being sealed away for months and is yet to wake up. But as for the rest of the 7, what role will they play in the future? We are going to learn a lot more about them with the seasons to come. But then we have the case of Agent Jones. Now, we haven't seen him since he was lost in the loop back in Season 6, so the real question is simply, has he escaped the loop yet? A big theory in our last storyline video was that Agent Jones actually disguised himself as a cow to try and get abducted by the mothership and escape the loop. And if that's the case, maybe he's already planted something. And then we have the most mysterious characters of all of Chapter 2, Gino and the Sisters. These are either the ancient leaders of the Imagined Order who founded it and created the loop, or they are some kind of other being that will be extremely important in the future. Maybe Gino is the Queen. Tune into our next storyline video to find out. And of course, I have to give a special shout out to certain people for helping us create this video. Of course, Ben and Sammy here at Top 5 Gaming, but also my friends John, Marco from Timeless Order, and a big thank you to Perfect Score for letting us use some of his gameplay. It's been Tommy. Would love to read your guys' theories in the comments, but keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.